In today's news, Jason Fonseca debunks rumors of being appointed city manager. Royal Virgin Islands Police Force relaunches community policing in response to crime spike. Renewal of telecommunications providers a license to take place by TRC. Ms. Kesia King and Mr. Willis Potter appointed as principals at BVI Public Schools. Premier Andrew Fahie backpedals on his NDP most corrupt government statement when put to him by the COI. In addition to that, BVI residents to receive their second dose of COVID-19 vaccine dose in 14 weeks, and the BVI Port Authority makes adjustments to International Ferry Schedule. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Is about these people.
It's always a pleasure coming to you live and direct from the
What's poppin'? What's really good?
Davis has won it for the Lakers.
Welcome everybody. It's Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Road Town, Tortola in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. My home, my paradise. Thank you so much for tuning in, and a happy Wednesday to each and every one of you. Beginning our newscast, the government of the Virgin Islands has commenced a recruitment drive for persons to sit as members of the various boards and commissions. This is the first time that the roles are being actively advertised to attract a broad selection of candidates who will be interviewed and chosen based on merit, prior experience, and complete experience in the sector. Now, Acting Premier of the Virgin Islands, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley, and Premier Fahie said, and I quote, that the advertisement will be done with keen to see the advertisement go forward to aid in the recruiting of persons to further strengthen the BVI's governance system, economy, and its people. He said the advertising of members of the boards is government's ongoing efforts to further strengthen transparency and accountability in the Virgin Islands. He continued, we are preparing the BVI for a new, brighter, and more resilient future. That was Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley. He said this journey is ongoing and includes other areas such as suit of goods governance legislation, as these efforts are being balanced with further strengthening of our economy while balancing lives with livelihood in this new regular of living and working with COVID-19. Now, Dr. the Honorable Wheatley said that he is urging residents to seriously consider putting themselves forward for these roles. We have a wealth of experience among us and highly motivated people who, like me, strive for the betterment of these islands. We are grateful for the contribution of the current board members and hope they will be further strengthened by the new appointees. Members of the boards and commissions in the Virgin Islands are appointed in order to consult on the proper running of the institutions and are being sought by the BVI Airports Authority, BVI Port Authority, Prospect Reef Resort, Gambling and Betting Control Commission, and Virgin Islands Trade Commission. Current serving members in positions will be given the opportunity to apply. However, each candidate will be reviewed independently and on the basis of the same criteria to ensure a fair process and transparency. Candidates have until June 15th to submit applications. They can do so by visiting bvi.gov.vg for the advertisement role. We take this time to dispel some local rumors. Circulating rumors that Mr. Jason Fonseca being appointed the position of city manager have been rendered false. Now, the news seemingly stemmed from a post made yesterday by Mr. Fonseca via Facebook that stated, and I quote, "From street to seat, I want to give thanks to the Father for putting me in this position to make a better for the country, and I will do my best to serve to make the city clean and friendly environment. I also want to give thanks to the Virgin Islands government for giving me the opportunity. Thank you." However, our newsroom, in speaking with Mr. Fonseca, was able to confirm that he was assigned the position of maintenance supervisor within this role. Mr. Fonseca's priority will focus on the cleanup and beautification of Central Road Town, whilst working alongside current city manager Janice Brathwaite Edwards. He's enthusiastic and looks forward to serving with this new capacity. Now, Mr. Fonseca's new position came seemingly as a surprise to the city manager's office. When our newsroom inquired, they seemed to have no known knowledge of the appointment. The 4 unitary license issued to CCT, Flow, Digicel, and BVI Cable TV by the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission in 2007 are due to expire over an 8-month period in 2022. Now, the license renewal process is governed by Section 24 of the Telecommunications Act 2006 and Article 3 of the license. In deciding whether to renew a license, the Commission must decide whether the license in question has completed with its various obligations under the Act, now the Telecommunications Code, the license, and any Commission instruction, and on whether the licensee has been in persistent breach of any of those obligations. All operators seeking renewal must apply to the Commission no less than 12 months before their license expiration. Where an operator seeks renewal, once the Commission receives an application form, it will follow the steps outlined in Article 3.3 of the license. Specifically, it will issue a public notice within 10 working days of receiving the application indicating, amongst other things, that the operator has applied for renewal of its license. Within this notice, the time within which a person can make comments or objections to the respective applications will be specified. Evaluate the operator's compliance with, among other things, the license obligations and the extent to which the license services were provided, and business conducted in accordance with BVI laws. An evaluation report will also be produced based on the Commission's findings and published within 90 days of the receipt of the application. Now, they will also conduct a public hearing within 10 working days of publishing the evaluation report, which allow persons with legitimate interest to comment or object on the requested renewal. This will be limited to those persons who have filed comments or objections in response to the notice. They will issue a decision within 120 working days of receiving the application. Now, the Commission will notify the operator of its decision, or if the decision will be delayed, in which case it will be issued no later than 1 year after receiving the application. In addition to foregoing, the Commission is presently revising the terms and conditions of the license with a focus on the development of the industry and ensuring that the public's interest is protected. It will be assessing customer care and service, affordable prices, faster speeds of internet, and improved services. A public consultation will be conducted on the proposed revised terms once the internal processes are completed. Now, viewers, I had the opportunity to sit down with the TRC head CEO, Mr. Guy Malone. In case you missed that interview, feel free to visit our Facebook page as well as our website, 284media.com, for the full conversation. With His Excellency the Governor in attendance, Commissioner of Police Mark Collins officially dispatched 16 officers to commence their work as the new community officers at police headquarters. Now, the relaunch of the community policing program was one of the commissioner's promise to the community during his swearing in April. He said, and I quote, "I believe community policing is foundation to an effective citizen-focused service. Visibility and engagement with communities leads to more confidence and satisfaction." He explained that the officers will be the face of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force and will be seen in schools, businesses, and at various functions and meetings around the territory. While, of course, ongoing training is taking place, the new community officers will start making introductory rounds within the assigned zones. Among the many tasks, these officers have been instructed to make the necessary inquiries to create a security profile of their assigned areas in order to make recommendations on the safety needs of each zone. I am asking that you give them your support and cooperation. At the brief ceremony, the Commissioner reiterated his stance that police and the public will need to collaborate to be successful in the maintaining of the safety and security in the territory of the Virgin Islands, and he is looking forward to building this partnership. Now, viewers, in case you missed our live coverage of this very short but special ceremony, you can again do so by visiting our Facebook page at 284 Media. Now, still ahead, Premier Andrew Fahie backpedals on NDP most corrupt government statement when put to him by the COI. He said, and I quote, "I can't say if there were any criminal activities because until proven guilty, you are innocent. I just saw it as corruption, not just the mere fact of planes or whatever wall or so. I saw the whole system as corrupt." We have all the details of the story and we go through the transcript. All this and so much more after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
Father Jesus,
That line here long like church service. Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun to people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Viewers, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. Continuing on the local scene, Leader of Government Business, the Honourable Andrew Fahie, has on many occasions publicly referred to the National Democratic Party, known as the NDP, as the most corrupt government in the modern history of the Virgin Islands, calling them morally and politically bankrupt, particularly while sitting on the opposition during the periods of 2015 to 2018. Now in 2015, during his remarks at the presentation of his first district annual report on the evening of January 24th, 2015 at the Capoons Bay Recreational Grounds, at that time, the present with him was the chairman of the Virgin Islands Party, the Honorable Julian Fraser, RA, and District 3 Representative. Fahie said of the then ruling National Democratic Party, and I quote, "This government has been the most corrupt government in the modern history of the territory. They have repeatedly used this territory as their personal piggy banks, and they have refused to adhere to the principles of good governance," adding that Project NDP has proven to be morally and politically bankrupt and corrupt. They only adhere, he said, to the rules when it benefits them and theirs. In referencing projects under the NDP that he deemed corrupt, Fahie named the Crafts Alive was well over $1 million and no tendering was done for that project. Spooner Estate roads and walls were well over $1 million and no tendering was done for that project. Georgie Hill Road project was well over $1 million and no tendering was done for that project. The list can go on and on. Fahie continued, "They have ensured jobs for their boys, projects for their friends, and have left you to fend, though getting the crumbs from their corrupt tables. But we are a people of dignity, and we are saying enough." Now Fahie declared, "We are saying that the people's time will soon come. We are saying that the election must have consequences for those involved in corruption and kickbacks." Now, recently, during his testimony by the Commission of Inquiry given on Day 6 of the COI hearing on May 18, 2021, based on transcript obtained by our newsroom of our team of reporters, the now Leader of Government Business and Minister for Finance, the Honourable Andrew Fahie, as a witness when grilled by the Commissioner on his statements on the NDP being the most corrupt government in the history of the Virgin Islands, Fahie seemed to struggle to stand by his statements. The Commissioner, Sir Gary Hickenbottom, asked, and I quote, "Can I, final matter that I'd like to canvass with you, Premier? I can take you to them if you want to, but there are a number of articles online which you were in opposition, and this spans from 2015 to 2018. You made or had attributed to your allegations that the previous administration were corrupt. So you accuse them of corruption. You accuse them of being political pirates. You accuse them of financial misappropriations. As I said, if you want me to take you through the news reports, I can do so. But is it right? Did you make such remarks?" To which the Premier witness said, "Yes, I did." Commissioner Hickenbottom continued, "And I mean, do you stand by your allegations that the NDP are corrupt?" To which Premier Fahie responded, "There were actions that concerned me. I didn't hide them and I don't hide them now. And I am always appalled that when we are in the opposition, we ask for COI on these and we are told by the governor that it would be too expensive to have a COI. And then we come to office, the governor had called us 1 week asking many times for a COI on the areas of great concern to taxpayers, and we were told that it was too much money to have a COI. It would have taken up too many resources, and they would report to the police, and we had never heard anything about it again to this date. So we are always told about the lessons learned, but there was no lesson learned based on what you can see. So I must say, Commissioner, if I can, please, I realize very quickly that we have to strengthen our resolve to have good governance, because if you search anyone's life from now until whenever, you will find things that persons have to improve upon, because there is none that is free from something that went wrong, not legally, not illegally, but wrong. That's life. But as my life, your life, or who life, but to recognize now that with the contracting of our legislation, to make sure that we put the legislation in place dealing with good governance, with the second and third reading of the good governance, that will use to strengthen and be strengthened in good governance. Now, Commissioner Sir Hickaburn then interfered, saying, "I'm sorry, Premier, to interrupt. I understand that these measures are going through, but as I understand, if the answer to the question as to whether you stand by those comments is yes," Premier Witness responded, saying, "The answer, Commissioner, is yes, but I haven't seen any lessons learned. So before we get taught lessons like now, we are putting good governance legislation, which we got a little delayed with." "I'm trying," Commissioner interfered. "No, I understand that," Premier Fahie said, "to stop corruption." Commissioner Hickenbottom said, "I understand that, but the answer to the question is yes?" Premier Fahie, "Yes." Now the interrogator then intervenes and asks, "And at this time, making such allegations as to financial misappropriation or corruption, you were effectively accusing, were you not, the previous administration of engaging in criminal activity?" Premier Fahie remarks, "One, make it specific that I was saying that we were talking about BVI. That was one. And it was not hard to say that because we had no plane, no money, no flights. I mean, a beginning lawyer in first year of law would say that something is wrong there. And every entity that could have looked into that when we went to them in the opposition turned us down. So I saw that at the time we were probably looking at this incorrectly. But I maintain that that was quite a bit of taxpayers' money that went out and you had no plane, no money. I didn't say that as a personal attack on them. We were dealing with situations that were right in front of us on our very eyes. And every time you went to the governor's office to get a COI, since we were getting nowhere because we were on the Public Accounts Committee, we did a report on that and other things. When we carried it out to the governor's office, he said that was not enough for a COI. Let the Attorney General do. They did their work, nothing. That's enough. We went back. They stated to us that it's too expensive to do a CUI. So after a while, the arms and tenants that were supposed to help the good governance wasn't there. Commissioner Hickenbottom interrupts again, saying, "I'm sorry again to interrupt, Premier, but going back to the question was that by those making those remarks, you must have meant that the previous administration was involved in criminal activity. But certainly those remarks certainly must have meant sorry. This is a question," he said, "by using the words corrupt must have meant dishonest." Premier Fahie concluded, "I can't say if there were criminal activities because until proven guilty, you're incorrect. I just saw it as corruption, not just the mere fact of planes or whatever wall or so. I saw the whole system as corrupt." Now, during his testimony, Premier Fahie was constantly asked by the commissioner to please answer the questions directly. It is imperative to note that the transcript take a long time to be publicly available, and some information from transcript may have been redacted. Additionally, usually when a testimony is given, if the testimony has been redacted, it would clearly state in the transcripts at which points exactly statements were redacted. The transcript published by the COI did not state if in fact pieces of the Premier's statements were removed. It is unclear if this is the full statement given by Premier Fahie. Now, as you know, viewers, the Commission of Inquiry was issued on January 19, 2021 to look into whether corruption, abuse of office, or other serious dishonesties may have taken place amongst public elected or statutory officials in recent years, and to make appropriate recommendations as to the governance and the operation of law enforcement and justice systems in the British Virgin Islands. The Honorable Sir Gary Hickenbottom is the sole commissioner, and the COI continues its hearings, of course, with the first having been live on YouTube earlier today, and we continue to really dissect those transcripts and bring the information to you, the general public. Our viewers, will be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and our partners that hold us down. It's season 2 of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, taking you on the most inspiring journey with the best and brightest distinguished gentlemen of the BVI. Raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men like you've never seen them before. Governor Augustus J.U. Jaspert, Jovan Klein, Neil Klein, and so much more. Turning modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen with yours truly, Ron Grant, a 284 Media production.
Viewers, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Now on to the final leg of our newscast. In more local news, Ms. Kesia King and Mr. Willis Potter have been appointed as principals in the public school system of the Virgin Islands. Ms. King holds the post of principal for the Althea Scatliff Primary School, while Mr. Potter is now the new assistant principal for the Virgin Islands School of Technical Studies. The appointments were made effective on January 1st, 2021. Chief Education Officer Mrs. Connie George said she was pleased that the officers have been appointed to their positions. Mrs. George said, and I quote, "The ministry's aim is to always strengthen our leadership, and I am also pleased to know that these two persons were part of our program that trained principals as administrators, so they are going with the necessary skill set, and hopefully we will see improvements as they continue to function in these leadership capacities. I send hearty congratulations." Ms. King has a Master's of Arts degree in Educational Administration from the University of the Virgin Islands with over 5 years of experience in leadership as the assistant principal of the Althea Scatliff Primary School. As the principal, she will provide opportunities for all members of staff to participate in the development of school policy, manage school curriculum, and authorized by the Education Act 2004. She will also prepare and implement school plans along with other duties. Meanwhile, Mr. Potter has a Bachelor of Education degree in Industrial Technology Education from Missouri Southern State University and holds a principal certificate from the National College of Educational Leadership. As the assistant principal, he will be responsible for creating an environment that will encourage quality learning experiences for all students, working along with teachers to ensure highest student performance, providing information about the work of staff where this is relevant to their future employment and deployment, increment, and promotion. Now, the Ministry of Education, Youth Affairs, Fisheries, and Agriculture would like to congratulate both officers in their roles as they continue to support the advancement of all Virgin Islands educators. And viewers, continuing on, BVI residents to receive the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccines. Officials at the Ministry of Health and Social Development are advising the public that the interval between COVID-19 vaccine doses is being shortened to 4 to 8 weeks. The adjustment is to ensure that as many residents as possible can be fully vaccinated before its stock of the AstraZeneca vaccine expires at the end of July. Persons who have not yet received their first dose are encouraged to do so between Friday, July 2nd. And continuing on, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Irad Potter has explained that although the AstraZeneca vaccine products are greater antibody response within 10 to 12 weeks dose interval, a 4 to 8 week regimen will still meet the threshold for full vaccination status. Now, arrangements for the shipment of additional doses have not been confirmed due to various constraints affecting the global supply of the AstraZeneca vaccine. cold chain and logistics requirements that limit the territory's access to other approved COVID-19 vaccines add to the uncertainty of future supply. Decisions are, however, ongoing with the Public Health England and the COVAX facility regarding vaccine supply to the territory, and further information will be provided to the public once arrangements have been finalized, Dr. Potter said. Now, he added that in light of the stringent manufacturer requirements, the onward transportation of the vaccines from the BVI to a receiving country may not be feasible, and is encouraging residents to take advantage of the opportunity now while supplies last. The BVI Health Services Authority is offering the COVID-19 vaccines to residents over the age of 18 throughout the week from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at locations such as the Seventh-day Adventist Church on Tortola, the Fat Hogs Bay Catholic Church, the Community Center, the Main Street, R&R Malone Complex in Packwood Pond, and of course on Saturdays at the Right Way Supermarket, on Virgin Gorda at the Nurse Iris O'Neill Medical Center from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and at the North Sound Clinic by appointment. Residents on Anegada are asked to schedule appointments by telephone at 852-7784 and on Joss Van Dyke by telephone at 852-7796. Again, persons who are desirous are encouraged to take advantage of this opportunity. The British Virgin Islands Ports Authority would like to inform the public of an adjustment in the International Ferry Passenger Schedule that started on June 1st, 2021. There will now be 2 daily round-trip ferry services. Ferry passengers arriving and departing the British Virgin Islands must receive a ticket with the scheduled ferry operator through their booking portal. Now, the approved passenger capacity for ferries is now limited to 65 passengers per trip. The new International Ferry Passenger Schedule is as follows. All ferries will now depart Rotown Tortola for Charlotte Amalie St. Thomas at 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. All ferries will now depart Charlotte Amalie St. Thomas for Rotown at 2:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. The BVI Ports Authority would like to inform the public that cargo will no longer be facilitated on the 4:30 p.m. ferry from Charlotte Amalie St. Thomas. Cargo will instead be facilitated on the 2:30 p.m. ferry only from Charlotte Amalie St. Thomas. Viewers, we are hoping that you take note of these changes, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, I want to thank you so much for joining us. That's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at 284media.com. And of course, like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. We'll see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. It is always a pleasure. 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news, right here on 284 Media out of Rotown, Tortola, British Virgin Islands. A happy Wednesday to everyone. Do have an enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.